Welcome to Yoga Talk. My name is Diane Kovanda, and I'm here today with my friend Megha, and she's going to share a piece that she created called Inspired Choices. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Megha Nancy Buttenheim. I'm founding director of Let Your Yoga Dance and a trainer of teachers at the Kripalu Center for Yoga and Health. I'm also on the faculty of the certification in positive psychology under the direction of Tal Ben-Shahar. Recently, I've been thinking a lot about choices. In his book, Choose the Life You Want, Tal teaches that all of our choices add up to a whole life. I think that's particularly true in my case. In the summer of 1984, I made a choice, a 30-day choice, to let go of my acting career and move into a yoga ashram. An ashram is a spiritual community, and it was called the Kripalu Center for Yoga and Health. And I stayed there for the month of August to become a spiritual lifestyle trainee. Well, that month became 12 years. And when the ashram ended, I chose to continue to do the work that I had learned and created while there. That's quite a choice. So I'm going to tell you a short story, a moving story, a story that moves, about 5 things that I learned at the ashram under the umbrella of SPIRE. And SPIRE is an acronym that was created by the Whole Being Institute of Positive Psychology. And SPIRE stands for S, spiritual, P, physical, I, intellectual, R, relational, E, emotional. SPIRE is like a consciousness toolkit. It can help create healthy choices by looking at these choices under a lens of the spiritual, perhaps from a grateful point of view. From how do I feel in my body, physical. From an intellectual, relational, and emotional point of view, how does my heart feel about that? And for me, when I look at SPIRE, it's like wrapping paper. And when I wrap SPIRE around my choices, I get a gift. My life can become more authentic, more mindful, and sometimes happier. So I hope that this story that I'm about to tell you will illustrate some ways that you can bring SPIRE into your life for more awareness and consciousness. So let's begin. Let's start with the letter S of the SPIRE, spiritual. My life in the ashram was a 24/7 spiritual event. Why? Well, because we were asked to practice karma yoga. Karma yoga is the yoga of selfless service. As an actor, the operant question in my world had often been, what can you do for me? But at Kripalu, that question got flipped upside down on its head. And the question became, what can I do for you? I loved that question. And I really wanted to live into that question. So I did. Spiritual. Then there's P, physical. My life in the ashram was physical heaven. Twice daily yoga. moving meditation, letting my yoga dance. Physical. I, intellectual. Evening gatherings, studying the ancient codes of conduct, the yamas and niyamas, or listening to ancient spiritual tales from India. But more important, I was left alone to dig and plant and grow my garden of grace into a tree of creativity. I, intellectual. Relational. We were an ashram dedicated to the heart of compassion, finding compassion first in our own hearts and the hearts of one another, and the 20,000 guests that annually walked through our doors for healing. Relational. And lastly, E, emotional. We were trained to refrain from grasping onto pleasure and pushing away pain, but instead to hold our emotions lightly, finding resilience in our tougher emotions and delight in our more joyous ones. E, emotional. So, those are my 5 learnings in the ashram under the umbrella of Spire. And it created an upward spiral of energy that grounded me in Mother Earth, becoming a roadmap for consciousness. I know it's not common for a 30-day choice to become a 30-year life. And it really makes me wonder, what have been your biggest life choices? Perhaps you're inspired to use Spire in your choices. Quoting again from Tal, in every moment, we have a choice. And I know that when I infuse my choices with Spire, I'm dancing in the right direction. So at this time, consider just closing your eyes and take some nice, long, deep breaths. And we'll do a little experiment. Begin to consider perhaps a choice that you're about to make in your life. It could be something this week, it could be next month, it could be a small choice or a bigger choice. And begin to now bring that choice together with Spire. So when you think of this choice from a spiritual perspective, perhaps a perspective of gratitude, how does that feel? Consider your choice from a physical perspective. How does your body respond to this particular choice? Or from an intellectual, digging deeper, doing some research on this choice. And then there's relational. How does this choice feel when it comes to others? And lastly, emotional. How does your heart feel when you consider this choice? Using Spire to help move you along in your choices. Take another couple of deep breaths in and out. And when you feel ready, let your eyes open. May all your choices be inspired. Namaste. Hakuna Matata, less worries, be happier.